What's up, y'all? So, as you can see, bike still has not blown up yet. Still going strong, but what we do have is an official letter in the mail from Kawasaki. So, a lot of people out there have gotten their letter, myself included. I actually got 2 letters in the mail from Kawasaki. What does it mean? It means the official recall is official. There's a recall. Here's a copy of the letter. I posted it on the video. If you can see and read, basically it doesn't say anything that we already didn't know. No new information, only just making it official. That's it. There's nothing new to that letter. The only thing that this letter adds basically is Kawasaki acknowledging finally to the owners that, hey, we do have a problem with your ZX6R, right? Now what does this letter say? The letter says that they're pursuing a repair, but guess what? No repair has been found. Nothing, right? They're pursuing a repair, they're pursuing a fix of the problem. What that is, we don't know. We don't know what the fix of the problem is. We don't know what they're going to do, which sucks. Sucks for a few reasons. One, we already knew what the issue was, and it sucks that it took them so long to get back to us. It took them forever to realize that, hey, we have this issue, and we're just now going to let you know about it, okay? It sucks. It really does suck. For people out there who have no other means of transportation, what this letter could mean, this is kind of like a cover your ass, right? Where Kawasaki said, hey, we notified you that there was an issue with your bike and we told you not to ride it. So if something does happen, let's say after you get this notice, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but Kawasaki could kind of be like, hey, we told you not to ride it and now you're having issues. This might be a means of a way out for them covering it. I don't know for sure because it's too early. How the fuck do we know? You know, how do we know exactly what they're gonna do? But it does make it official, and it does make it official that, hey, they have reached out to you. Has my dealership reached out to me? No, I don't think it's their responsibility. Usually when there's an issue with recalls, it's the manufacturer who gets out there, you know, back to us. And this is all through what is a NHTSA regulations, basically federal regulations. They're mandated to let owners know that, hey, there's an issue. And again, what is the issue? If you look at the letter, it just says, you know, a seizure in number 5 metal crankshaft bushing, right? It can lose engine power, and it can increase the risk of a crash, which can potentially, you know, make this really deadly, really serious. So it sucks, man. It really does suck. Now, I've reached out to Kawasaki 3 times now by phone on normal business hours, and all 3 of those occasions they've said all the representatives are in some sort of training or class. Please reach out to us the next day. When I do reach out the next day, it's the exact same message. Could they be in training in class? Yeah. But if you've gotten this letter and you're anything like me, you've probably thought to yourself, you know what? Let's go ahead and call Kawasaki and let's see what, you know, comes out of their mouth from Kawasaki itself. Not from social media, not from, you know, word of mouth by somebody else who owns a ZX6R or who used to own a ZX6R or works for somebody who owns the dealership, whatever, right? Let's get directly from their mouths. What are they going to do? And again, they're busy training, right? With such an issue, with so many bikes affected, you would think that, hey man, let's make a means of communication available so that we can communicate to our customers, even if it is letting them know that we're aware. We are aware that there's issues going on. We're aware of people who don't have any other means of transportation, whatever the case is. Usually, when something as big as your car is going to basically seize up on you and can cause a fatal accident, it's a huge deal. It's huge. You know, it's obviously more widely reported in the news and other means of communications, whether it's, you know, online news, whether it's your local news, whether it's through mail, email, whatever. But because it's bikes, we don't get that much exposure. I think I've seen one news article covering the ZX6R and its recalls, but again, it's been nothing really significant. What I want to happen from Kawasaki, right, correct me if I'm wrong, is for them, even if it costs them money now, to make the problem right. But does that mean, hey, you know, you bought a product from us, our product can kill you, basically. It can seize up and kill you and launch you across the road, make you human crayon. We're sorry, we'll do a buyback, right? That's one option. Another option is, hey, you know what, we're going to work out something with the bikes that are not affected, that many dealers have, whether it's, you know, a Ninja 500, another Ninja model, ZX6R, whatever, right? Work out some deal with them where they're just like, hey, we're going to take the stock of bikes that we have and make them loaners to make it right, to do right by the customer, you know? The big thing any company relies on, the number one thing, is their customers, right? And last thing you want to do is literally lose your customer base. A lot of people are loyal to Kawi, right? Myself included. Nothing but great things about Kawi. But things like this make you question, is Kawi the next bike that I'm going to go with? Or once this problem is fixed, am I going to keep my Kawi? You know? Am I going to go to Yamaha? Am I going to go to Honda? Am I going to go to Suzuki? Am I going to go to BMW, Ducati, whatever? Right? Because obviously, if this happens again, you know, you only have this experience to fall back on and kind of look and realize, like, man, am I going to go through this thing again? And it really does suck, man. It really does. I think, you know, that either a refund / buyback, some sort of loaner bike, or even for those customers who it is the only means of transportation, to be like, hey, listen, we'll make it to where we're going to rent a car, right? It doesn't have to be nothing extravagant. At least get you from point A to point B, because a lot of times, you know, hey, you may use that as your means to go work, right? Now you can't go to work. What does that mean? You have to shell out more money for transportation, rely on friends and family, or what? Worse, you can't make it to work and you lose your job? I mean, I'm sure Kawasaki has to be thinking about all this, and if they haven't, it's all over social media. Like, come on, man. Really? Do right by your customers. Do right by your customers. You do right by your customers, this whole thing can be an inconvenience and nothing else. Screw your customers over and you're going to lose business. If you think that, you know, shelling out, let's say, 17,000 brand new ZX6R motors is going to hurt, how about you lose the customer base that has made it possible to sell 17,000 plus bikes like it's nothing, right? Because ultimately, that's what, you know, a lot of people do. They go with a reliable manufacturer, and Kawasaki is one of those reliable manufacturers. But the fact that they still haven't found a fix, that they haven't told anybody anything, I'm sorry, but people need to be working overtime for this. People need to be working extra at Kawasaki to figure out exactly what to do. I've written an email to Kawasaki, kind of discussing, hey, what are the options, because I'm still making payments now on a bike that I can't ride without risking my life, right? Does it turn on? Yeah, it does turn on. But it's official, you know, if something does happen to my bike after they send a notice, now I can be on the hook for all the repairs, medical repairs, for everything else, because they could just simply say, hey, we warned you to stay off your bike. Alright, so what I'll do is, I'm going to put my bike in the garage, I'm going to turn it on occasionally, just so that the gas doesn't get bad, so the fluids run through the vehicle, and wait to see what Kawasaki tells me. Honestly, I'm waiting to see what their solution to this problem is going to be. That's what I'm waiting for, because honestly, this is ass. This sucks. So I'm sure there's people out there that are going to be riding their ZX6R, and good for you, man. Do it. You know, if you're out there and you're still riding, you know, stay safe, ride your own ride. But just know that this can also possibly be a way for Kawasaki, you know, to get off the hook for any repairs that they may have to do to your bike. They could go on and say, hey, we sent you a letter, you went and rode the bike, you know, your bike was damaged, you know, and if you ride it and it was damaged, hopefully, you know, it's something where you can pull to the side of the road and you're not thrown across the pavement, across the ground, across the road. But this could also be a means for them to not get you what you deserve, and what that is a bike that works. So I don't know, like I said, this is just my take it with a grain of salt, but thanks for listening, guys. Do me a favor, I appreciate the views, I appreciate the likes, I appreciate the comments. Please keep them going. Please subscribe, please like this video, please share this video. I want to know what you guys think on the issue. If you guys have gotten word from Kawasaki, you know, I'd love to hear what they've gone back and said to you guys. But by all means, you know, keep on riding, be safe, and be safe.